So who likes change? Most of us don't like change. And I remember being so reluctant to changing. I thought I liked change until I had to change. And then when change came about, I was actually forced to change. Um, Nowhere in my being did I want to change. I've spoken to you guys in a previous video about trying to change when things are easy, when the pain isn't excruciating, whether it was physical or emotional, mental. I remember my pain being emotional and mental. Even when I had cancer, I had no physical pain or any evidence of anything going on in my body. I just went for a regular checkup. Um, and then found out that the resentment and the unforgiveness that I was carrying resulted in that health condition. I actually have to stop myself sometimes from reminiscing or thinking about the time that was lost, or the time when my dreams were right in front of me but I couldn't see them. I try not to dwell there, but fear of change was the biggest factor in me taking a very long time to act upon the knowledge that I was gaining. I was gaining knowledge for long years, but I was acting upon them in a very small way. So I wasn't doing the best that I could do. I wasn't showing up as, full potential. I wasn't being the best version of myself. And that's okay. That's how much I was receptive to at that time. Everything that I took in is sinking in at this time. So there's no time lost. You're just gaining new experiences, new preferences. You're learning about things. You're acquiring knowledge about this world. So there is nothing that is lost. And each and every one of us, our experiences is gonna be different. So we're not comparing ourselves to anybody else, and we're never looking at someone else's success journey and comparing ourselves to them. I think cutting off on social media is very helpful when you guys are trying to not compare yourselves, because I hear a lot of people talking about comparing themselves and having a hard time and just not comparing themselves to others. I actually never compared myself to someone else. I always said, like, the success that they are in, I'm able to achieve as well if I wanted to. Another thing is, I do not follow people's personal lives on social media because I dislike that energy. I am inspired by many accounts, but those are like some inspirational quotes or somewhere where I would just look for a second or two. I allow myself to look at one thing when I first open the account before I'm posting something for work. That's actually I usually get a sign or something that resonates with my journey, and it's beautiful to see that. When we embark on a journey to anything, fear of change pops up. And the best approach to use when dealing with the fear of change is grounding yourself in the present moment, which means returning to Allah, which means returning to God. While you're changing, if you think about the past, you're gonna feel grief. If you're thinking about the future, that's where the fear is gonna come up from. So you wanna stay in the present moment, and therefore you wanna stay with Allah in the unknown. And you don't know what's gonna happen. And you reflect back on your past experiences so that you become fearful. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna ground yourself in the present moment, trusting and being with Allah, trusting that what I'm going through is in the eyes of God, then I'm on the right path. And if I was misguided, He is the one who guides me back on the path. In life, when we see our loved ones or our friends, someone that we care about, taking a different path, we become fearful, become scared, especially if they're taking the wrong path. At that time, there's nothing that you can do except for try to hold their hand through. You want to be there for them so that maybe they find their path again, or they don't get lost even more. Now, if they're taking a good path, we still kind of act in the same way. We become fearful because we don't know what they're doing. We have no idea what they're trying to do or accomplish. We don't see their vision. We don't know where they're going. So we become fearful and we start talking about them. We backbite about them. We say that they are changing. They are not like us anymore. They don't like to be around us. They're spending more time by themselves. And so they don't care about us. They don't love us. They fell from love with us. They don't want to go out with us. So that means they think that, they're cooler than us. That is usually not the case. Usually the person who is changing is taking time for themselves because they need this time to go within. They need this time to remove the brain fog that they've been experiencing for a long time. They need this time to introspect. They need this time because they want to become closer to us. Instead of thinking or talking about the person that we see is changing, and we all change. We all go through change. Friends, family, husband, wife, kids, we all go through change. Let's try to instead give them the space. Give them the space that they need. And if we are not willing to support them on their journey, let's at least try to not backbite about them and give them their space. Give them their time to introspect and choose their path. We don't all need to conform on the same path. We don't all need to take the same route in life to be successful. People have different routes. People take different paths. And that's okay. That's okay. Don't feel like it's intimidating. We actually should. And it's more healthy to take different paths, to take different routes, to have different beliefs and different thoughts. For all the same thing, it would be very boring. This would be a very boring world. Believe me. You don't want everyone to be the same. I develop so much patience out here. Every 30 seconds a plane passes by and I have to silence myself and I lose my train of thoughts. I have no idea why I'm sitting out here, but the sun was just so beautiful today. And when I woke up, I usually go on a nature walk or ride my bike or do my run. But when I saw the sun today, I just thought about you guys, and I think that was the cutest thing ever. I thought I wanted to talk to you guys. I guess the airplanes are talking, so let's wait it out again. I feel more comfortable sitting on the floor. The reason why some people backbite or talk about others when they see people changing is because it's not coming from a bad place, okay? It's coming from your love for them. We understand. You love them so much and you feel like maybe you miss them. You have fear of abandonment might even pop up, when you fear like they're gonna leave you or you guys are gonna part ways. I would actually have friends when we meet and they would start wanting to see me every day, and then I would try to space it out, and this is in the past. They would actually say, we're afraid that you're not gonna be our friend anymore. And I would say, don't have that thought because the things that you fear usually happen. And they're like, no, don't say that. And then it's funny, but in a couple weeks or months, we would actually part ways. And I could just see how they created that scenario from fear and how it would play out in the world. It would just amaze me how powerful they were in creating their own reality. I still have people say that right now, but I laugh it out because I'm like, we might part ways and, things happen, people change, people level up or down. Things happen. But let's just live in the moment and enjoy now. And that's all what we have. I don't know why, but for some reason, when people see me, they say that. They say, we're afraid that you're going to leave us. I was attracting people who have the fear of abandonment, which I was probably mirroring, right? That's really funny though. It's really cool. Okay, so we love to belong, and with others we feel strong. By ourselves, when we're lonely, we don't like it. That's why when you're working on your self-concept and you're changing your thoughts and your beliefs about yourself and people who surround you and about your environment, things will change for you. Things will improve for you. We like to belong, and it's not a bad thing. When you start working on yourself, when you do self-concept, when you stop your thoughts, when you rewire your brain and your mindset, you're not gonna fear change as much. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes you're always gonna fear stuff, but for change, it's hard. It's hard for me to fear change right now. I could change in a heartbeat. I can change really quickly. I no longer fear change because, usually you fear the unknown, but then if you're walking with God in the unknown, in the present moment, then what is there to fear? If you're not grieving about the past or thinking about the future, which brings you fear, then what are you gonna fear? You're not gonna fear anything. That's why with God, you no longer fear. When you stand with God, you aren't afraid of anything. And this is gonna take us into point 2, choosing a new pathway. Choosing a new pathway. Choosing a new path for yourself. How does that sound? A path that looks like you. A path that is filled with your personality, your likes, your dislikes, the things that you're passionate about, what you love, what you dream of, your dreams, your aspirations. I want you to close your eyes and remember all the dreams that at one point you stopped believing in. All the passions that you wanted to pursue and you halted on them. All the things that one day I'm gonna do this, I wish I could do this, one day I'm gonna do that. All of your little wishes that all of the little wishes that you had. I want you to imagine your life with all of those wishes, dreams, aspirations, and things that you love to do. How would your life be? If you could visualize how your life can be with all of those things that you have written down or imagined in your head, just give it a little bit of time and see how they are all going to come to life. Just give it a little bit of time and see how they're all going to come to life. At this time, I'm actually living the best chapter of my life, where I can physically see in the 3D all my dreams coming to life and everything that I want happening right before my eyes. God's mercy and kindness all around me. It's such a beautiful feeling. Your path is not gonna look like anybody else's path. Your path is gonna look like you. It's gonna be special and unique to you. And it's only gonna look like you because it's your path. Your path doesn't look like what others told you is good for you. What others told you is good for you is irrelevant to you. What is relevant to you is what looks like you. Change can be beautiful to something that you dream of and something that is special, looking like you. It has your feelings, your thoughts, your unique emotions. You make it special. You're gonna see a lot of people that oppose you. You're gonna have a lot of people go against you. But just let them be. Don't let their energy affect yours. Because remember, you're in your bubble of love and kindness that you embodied from the names of Allah. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Wadud, Ar-Ra'uf. You don't need to worry about those around you who are talking negatively or thinking that they're trying to put you down. Because nobody could put you down. Only you can put yourself down. You are the only person responsible for lifting yourself up or putting yourself down. There's nobody outside of yourself to accuse. It's all you. It's all you. It's all you. You're gonna keep growing. You're gonna run after your dreams and after yourself. Yourself needs you. Yourself is calling you. It needs you to be there for it. And people who are acting well in your environment or around you, whether it's friends or no matter who the person is, you don't need to worry about them. You just need to embody God's names. When you embody God's kindness and His love and His mercy for other people, the people who are no longer suitable to be in your environment are gonna vibrate away. You don't need to worry about taking people out of your life or ending things. You don't need to take matters in your own hands or worry about that, because God will take care of that. You work on yourself. You concentrate on yourself. You only have yourself. Don't worry about other people. My child doesn't listen to me. My child doesn't listen to me. For example, my children are not listening. They're not listening. They just don't listen. They're not listening. I just keep saying that over and over. Well, that is an affirmation. And guess what's going to happen? Your kids are not going to listen. If you stop yourself every time you say that throughout the day, and you say, when they're not listening, you say, my kids are listening to me. My children are listening. I'm grateful for my loving family. I'm grateful for my loving children. Say anything that's different. Keep rewiring that thought. And just give it time. Give it time. Give it time. Time. Patience. Time. Patience. Develop your patience. It's gonna change. That's how your reality changes. This is the same with everything. Just take what I said and apply it to everything else in your life. And watch the magic happen. And triggers are there to teach us. So every time someone triggers you, or someone says something that you don't like or you don't vibe with, go into yourself. That's the time when you need to ask yourself questions. Why do I feel this way? What did they say that, I'm mirroring outside of myself? It's time for you to look within when someone triggers you. Every time someone triggers you, that's them telling you, work on this. This is for you to work with. It's not from them. It's just a reflection of what's inside of you. And this takes us to point 3. Try, if you can, try and support those who are changing. They need support. It's really hard for people to change. If you think change is easy and, they'll be able to do it, or they'll be fine, they're doing okay, they are going through challenging times as well, and they need your help and support. They need you to be there for them. So if you could lend a hand, if you could lend an ear, if you could spend time with them, if you can just give them their space sometimes, if that's what they want, whatever it is that they're trying to convey to you, try to do that. Be that beacon of light for them, even if you don't even know what they're doing. People who are changing are fearful too. They feel scared. They don't know what's gonna come, or what is it that they are supposed to do, what is asked from them, from their Lord. They also don't know most of the time, all of the time. They don't know. They don't know what to expect, or what's gonna happen, or if it's gonna be okay or not, or if they're gonna lose their loved ones or not. Change is hard for them too. And remember, it's normal. Everyone changes. You have those people who, when you go up to them, whether it's a loved one that you want to be in a relationship with, or a friend, you're gonna change one day. Yes, I'm gonna change. Pray that I change for the better. I'm gonna change. You're gonna change. We're all gonna change. Change is inevitable. If we didn't change, then how is it even possible to evolve? We all need to change. And if we're not changing, then there's something wrong. You should be changing. Change is beautiful. It's fearful and it's beautiful. In the beginning of my journey to change, when I was actually implementing the knowledge that I've gained over the years, most people around me were saying that I was changing and they didn't like it, and how I was being different and acting different. And I wasn't the person that they knew before. I wasn't the kind Fatima anymore, or the loving Fatima anymore. And that didn't feel good. When people did that, it didn't feel good. I do want you guys to be careful how you speak to those around you. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, if you don't have anything kind to say, then just stay silent. And I think that's beautiful. People should stay silent if they don't have anything nice to say. You don't know how much you're affecting people around you with either comments that you're giving out or words that you're saying. People might be going to positive change, and if your words are not helpful, or if your words are like trying to have them stop or become fearful of what they're doing, well, you're doing the job. The job is being done. But the thing is, you have people like me who, for example, will never back down on what they're doing. The push that I feel to do what I need to do is stronger than your words. So that's the reason why I kept going every single time, whether it was this journey or the journeys before. Because again, we're always going through something, and we're always changing, and we always have certain people who are like that around us.